That's fine.
All right,
Yeah.
Reese, you're dying to ask, man. There's some crazy beers. Let's do
Let's
it.
hear it.
Well, yeah. So like, you never see first off a wheat wine. I feel like you rarely see a wheat wine anywhere, right? Like I think like maybe like 1 out of 10 breweries that I go to will have one that pops up like seasonally, right? So you have a bear,
That's less than that. I've
right?
only been to a handful that have ever had a wheat wine.
I'm like searching for them. Like that's probably why, and you're probably right. It's probably like 1 out of 50 or something like that. But
That's
anyways,
probably more accurate.
yeah. So you have a bourbon barrel wheat wine. So I just want to know more about it. What was the inspiration? What was the process? You know.
So I'm kind of a weird guy when it comes to like holidays and things like that. I brew every Christmas. It used to be that I brewed a golden sour every Christmas. Now I do my Italian style pilsner every Christmas. My birthday beer every year, I brew my favorite beer to brew, and that's my wheat wine. And I've been dialing that beer in for years. I really enjoy brewing high gravity beers. And wheat wine, like you said, it's a style that not many people do. It's a style I really enjoy brewing. So yeah, every year on my birthday, within a day or two of my birthday, I try to brew a batch of wheat wine. And this particular batch got to rest in some ironclad small batch bourbon barrels for a while. And,
Nice.
I love it. It's smoothed
Yeah,
out,
so-
really nice. It's 14%, but it drinks like it's
Oh.
8 or 9.
Hello.
Super complex, and it's an amazing beer.
Oh
was-
man.
So
Yeah.
for those of us who are noobs in this world, can you explain what a wheat wine actually is?
So I guess a lot of people have heard of a barley wine, which is really just the word wine throws a lot of people off. They're like they think that it's mixed with wine or whatever the case is, but it's really just a traditional style that was higher gravity, higher alcohol. The focus was really on the grain. So we kind of separate our beers into categories of hop forward, yeast forward, and malt forward. And those barley wines, wheat wines, rye wines are very malt forward, high gravity beers. And the wheat wine is one of those beers with just a really high percentage of wheat in the grain bill instead of your traditional barley that would be in a barley wine.
Yeah. Usually darker, not quite as dark as a porter, right? But darker than like a brown ale. And I think usually they're sweeter with like a little bit of hops on them, a little bitterness.
There's very little. Most of the time, our color in beer comes from specialty malts, so roasted malts, crystal malts. There's very little of those malts in my wheat wine, but it's still a really dark amber color, and that comes from a very long boil time. So while you're boiling for 4 or 5 hours to increase the gravity of that beer, you're also caramelizing some of the sugars that are in the beer. So you're almost cooking the sugars and creating that color out of just regular old wheat.
Wow.
And getting that
That's
darker
awesome.
color.
Oh yeah.
So,
That would be a treat, definitely.
for sure. There's one other brewery I know of in Virginia that's got not only a wheat wine but a barrel aged wheat wine on, and they're some of my good friends in the industry, and one of my favorite breweries, Decipher Brewing, up in Charlottesville,
Okay.
Okay.
my hometown. But they're a relatively new brewery, and they released Artemis, their wheat wine, and they did a barrel aged version, and it's killer also.
Nice.
So if you're in Charlottesville, check them out as well.
Okay. Okay, definitely.
I think I've seen Decipher here distributed, I feel like, in Virginia Beach. I think.
They haven't gotten out of their tap room yet, so they're all tap room.
Okay.
We had them down at our anniversary last month. They brought a couple kegs down. That was the first time they got out of the Charlottesville area.
Awesome.
They're-
Well, I
they're
must have
still
seen them.
pretty good. Yeah.
I must have seen them like in the Facebook like craft beer groups or something, because I've definitely heard that name before.
They're doing some great beer, and they're getting a lot of traction and buzz in like Vance Virginia craft breweries and some of those other groups.
Yeah, I Charlottesville's another area that's blowing up with craft beer. We talked to Kevin from Random Row, and really cool guy. Lots of really
For
good
sure.
beers from there too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Well,
so
I
that's
want to try a wheat wine.
you have to. You absolutely have to. It'll change you. So that's super cool. I see also you have Brother Greg, which is a Belgian quad brewed with coriander and ginger, which is interesting. Yeah, get out of here. That's nice. So Belgian quad, 4 times the malt usually, but then you're using coriander and ginger as well. So tell us a little bit about that, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of the same reason that I really like the wheat wine. Those high gravity, malty, dark beers. That's kind of what got me into beer. Right, drinking those Belgian quads and Trappist style beers when I was stationed over there. So really enjoy brewing those and drinking them. Brother Greg, one of our former employees, her brother's name is Greg, and she refers to him as Brother Greg. And when I met him, that's how she introduced me to him, and I was like, that is a perfect Belgian beer name, Brother Greg. So he's actually on the can on that label. You can kind of sort of see him in the background. Yeah, we tried the coriander and ginger just to kind of spice it up a little bit, and it's a very mellow spice, but people really enjoyed it. So we brewed that one a couple times now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta give that one a try too. And then the last one I want to ask about something that I've never seen before, but I definitely want to try is this Dento, the Japanese style rice lager. Yeah, that one's like I have no idea where to go with that one. So yeah, what's up?
So I really enjoy brewing lagers. That's my thing these days, and I've got what I call my international lager series, and when we brew those beers, the name of the beer is the word tradition in the language of that country. So Tradizione is my Italian pils, Tradic is my Czech pils, Tradizia is my Baltic porter, and then Dentao is Japanese pronunciation of the word tradition. So yeah, again, it's just a very traditionally brewed Japanese style rice lager. So about half of that grain bill was rice. So about half of our sugars came from rice rather than barley. It's got a really unique bitterness on the end. The way the hops kind of play with that rice. But yeah, it's been a great summer crusher here. It's about just over 4%, and we've actually got that on one of our Czech side pull taps, so we can get that nice, dense, thick, wet foam to it. And it makes for a really cool drinking experience.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm trying to picture, yeah. I guess I just have to come down and try it for myself, because all I can think about is like sake, and it's like what's up?
No better way to find out about it than just come down and try it out for yourself. Obviously. Yeah,
definitely. It's gonna have to happen. So. Well, those were the three that I wanted to ask about. I really think it's cool that the naming convention that you chose, using their own language, to say traditional, basically, or tradition. That's really neat. Yeah, cool.
Super creative, really cool.
Yep.
And surprisingly, the word tradition sounds a lot like tradition in most languages. So Japanese was the first one that kind of really veered off, and people are like, "What does that mean?" Like, well, it's right beside Tradizione and Tradiz and Tradizia. So,
yeah.
Cool. I'm still tripping on Brother Greg right now. Just somebody who introduces their brother as Brother Greg. That's just awesome. Not to be confused
with. That always introduces me as Cousin Brian. So all of her friends know me as Cousin Brian. So when I heard Brother Greg, I was like, that's perfect.
That's awesome. Yeah, we should make an old Greg beer that's just like a British style. Like he was British, right?
Just an old ale. Yeah.
You got to put some Baileys in there.
Some Baileys.
Jeez. Oh, gosh.
So good.
Wow.
Kids, ask your parents.
Yeah.